I won't tell you how I struggled with 3Gs, how my connection with God was worse than Sprint 3G in the middle of nowhere, located in a town called Lukewarm. I won't tell you how I hated vulnerability, how it felt like if I exposed even a small fraction of me, it would be improper and taken out of proper proportion. I won't tell you how I love to play the quiet game. Lock myself in a jail cell of silence, sentenced to death for sins that I committed, yet found it hard to commit to Christ. So I won't tell you how I constantly cheated in the one relationship that meant the most to me. How I love to play broken records of infidelity, yet the tune never matched my heartbeat. I always seemed to be off key. I won't tell you how I cried. I cried. Emotions to me seemed weak because I never felt more helpless than I did when I cried myself to sleep. My tears knocked me out faster than any double dose of NyQuil mixed with Benadryl, and still I couldn't find the strength to wake up from the same sins that kept me drowsy in the daytime and active when it was dark. Sin made me realize that nightmares don't need nighttime to come alive. I won't tell you how secrets became a second language. I was bilingual in lies and fluent in falsehoods. I spoke so smoothly, even I forgot I was telling tall tales. I was allergic to telling the truth. I showed symptoms every time I sneezed authenticity, and still I expected the Lord to bless me. If I could, I'd tell you that I never felt more foreign than within church walls. A segregated congregation of sinners versus saints. Some days I sat with the saved, some days I sat with the slaves to sin. I was in chains, singing songs of freedom that I couldn't relate to. So when Sunday came, I had no idea where I was gonna sit today. I won't tell you that I felt so dumb, raising my hands in worship when my heart was waiting for the end of service. I was nodding my head to the sermons, not because I understood, but because I was falling asleep. Falling to sin during the week made me weak, so in the end, when the weekend came, I knew my righteous facade had an expiration date. But nah, I ain't gonna tell you that. I also won't tell you how I was this close to giving up on life. Not really thoughts of suicide, but since death is equal to living a life without Christ, I guess they're on the same side. Zombies exist. Yeah, zombies exist. They walk amongst us every day. Just look into the eyes of someone who's never been saved. I was hungry for the things of the flesh, never satisfied. A zombie in spirit, I reeked of death, but I kept these thoughts to myself. I wish I could tell you how I hated when people tried to fix me. You know what they say, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I was never quite ready to admit that I was broken. My pride was at an all-time high, a real Goliath in my life. If only I knew that the rock was my sling shot, then maybe this giant pride would have died a long time ago. I won't tell you how I figured that in silence I'd find a solution. Maybe my dirty little secrets didn't have to come to the surface like air pollution. I kept a muzzle over my mouth, the devil's hand on my leash. I became the female dog he never wanted to release, and that's what happened when I kept my hands over my mouth, my fingers to my lips. I shut the door to my own freedom by keeping my sins to myself. If only I knew the way out. I honestly wish I could tell you all these things, I really do, but I'm convinced that I'm both a disgrace and an embarrassment. I know that Jesus is the key, but for now I think I'm gonna keep silent.